Ingrand. Un aplauso, por favor. So I will be switching to English so that we're all part of the same conversation. So this is anatomy of distribution. The idea here is, well, one may wonder, I had this thing. You say distribution, video games, you put it in Steam, right? You distributed the game, right? So the idea is that he's going to tell you what actual deep distribution is, the places you can go, what you can do, etc. So here is Francis Ingrand, who, by the way, it's his birthday, so everyone who's happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday!
Come on, Francis. We're not going to sing right now, but maybe later,
Hopefully.
And we'll enjoy everyone. Thank you so much, Francis.
Thank you. Hello everybody. First, sorry for my voice. I am a bit sick for my birthday. I didn't sing anything yet, but I'm starting to lose my voice.
Today is your birthday? Today?
Yes.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. So I will talk today about Plugin Digital, the company, what we do on the distribution side, and as well for the second part we will talk a bit more about publishing stuff and what a publisher like us looking for. So Plugin Digital, I don't know if you are all familiar with the company. It's a 10-year-old company, a French company. I guess you heard my accent. I founded the company in France, in Paris, in 2012. At start, we only worked on distribution side, and after a few years, we started to work on the publishing side as well. Today, we have our main office at Montpellier, in south of France, and as well, we have an office at Shanghai in China, with a few people in China, especially to manage Chinese stuff and South Asian stuff. And now we are 55 people as a company. Some figures about content we have. Currently we have more than 2,500 video games in our portfolio on distribution side, PC and mobile. When I'm talking about mobile, I am mostly talking about Android and HTML5. We have few games on Apple Store, but most of games for distribution are on HTML5 and Android. As well, we already released more than 90 titles on console, including more than 60 titles on Switch. So we are quite good on Nintendo Switch. And as well, we are working a lot on cloud gaming. So right now, we are talking a lot on cloud gaming on the market, but we started to work on cloud gaming 10 years ago. So we are an historical partner of cloud platform. And we have more than 30 platforms all over the world. We have a short video about what we do on distribution. Yes. So just to explain you a bit what we do. Of course, you create the game. You want to explore more distribution opportunities outside of Steam, outside of Google Play, and others. And we are able, thanks to our platform, to push your content on all kind of platforms, like in South America we have nivel, AWG, etc. And we have a partnership all over the world. We don't sell directly to customers, we sell to Sony, to Steam, to Amazon, to nivel, to Gamersgate, directly. And as I said, we are working on digital, on cloud gaming, on OEM stuff, and we manage all promotion, event, deals, business development for you on store we can manage for you. And the good thing is we make one report, one monthly report in one currency. We manage all tax and all other boring stuff like this. Sorry. Okay. So few few partners we have currently. So we are working with publisher, but as well we are working with a lot of indies, like Purple Tree in Argentina. And in terms of partners network, we are working with all kinds of platforms, the big one like Microsoft, Google, but as well a lot of local partners like Orange in France, Nivel in Brazil, DMM in Japan, etc. And as well, we are trying to make some specific deals, like for Amazon Twitch. We are quite good to make specific cooperation for our partners. As well, we have two publishing labels. One is Dear Villagers, the other is PID Games. Dear Villagers is more our premium publishing label. We are only working on PC console on this label. We are working on premium titles. No free-to-play, no freemium. It's only premium mostly on Steam, PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. Last year, for instance, we released The Forgotten City. We had a strong success on these games. More recently, we released Soldiers from Spain or Fortales for France. And our plan is to release 5 to 6 titles a year on this label. And second label, PID Games, is PC, mobile, and console labels. We do indie publishing. It means scope of projects are different than on Dear Villagers, because on Dear Villagers we can invest till 2 million euros on the project for co-production, because we don't take the IP. So we make co-production with developer, and we can invest till 2 million in production. On PID Games, we are more looking for investment of 100, 200K. So the game scope is a bit different. And we can work both on PC, mobile, or console. As well, we are more focused on premium. Even if we do a little bit of free-to-play on mobile, most of our business on PID Games is on premium as well. And on PID Games, we do republishing. So what is republishing is, for instance, what we did for Alma from us two, Monument Valley developer. They made a deal with Apple Arcade to put the game on Apple Arcade. And we port and publish the game on PC and console for them. Because when you make an Apple Arcade deal, you have, of course, they are exclusive on mobile, but we have the opportunity to explore business on PC and console. It's what we did for them, and we release the game both on digital and physical on console, and as well on digital and PC for them. In few words, I started my career as an accountant, but after a few years I moved to e-commerce website named Black Orange. Alapage.com, it's one of the main competitors of Amazon in France. And then I moved to digital, to Nextway and Plugin Digital. So it means I'm working on digital distribution, download, etc. for 15 years now. So yeah, that's why Plugin Digital has a strong experience on this kind of business. And as well, I was vice president of French video game syndicate for 6 years. I was in charge of international stuff. I think it's important to talk about some value we have. I think on distribution side, and even on publishing sometimes, simplicity is a key point. The market is very, very complicated, a lot of rules, a lot of currencies, a lot of tax. You have to manage a lot of things. And at the start of the company, for me it was important to make something very simple for our partners, for report, etc. And as well, my plan was not to establish a brand. My plan was more to study the market and to follow the market. And it's very important in video games business because video games market is moving all the time. So you can say, okay, my positioning is like this, and let's wait. You have to move and to change your positioning all the time. Often people ask me how we get a success in a company. So to be honest, first we all need a bit of luck. Because sometimes you make good stuff, it doesn't work, you don't know why. Sometimes you meet the right people at the right time and it works. So luck is part of the success for sure. And timing is the key point. Before I talked about cloud gaming, 10 years ago we signed cloud gaming deals with companies like Online, Gaikai, G-Cluster, etc. They are all dead today because they were too in advance on the market. Potential was here, is here now, but when they started 10 years ago, it was not the right timing. If they start only 5 years ago, then it will work well. So I think timing is very essential and it's crucial in all kind of business. And on plugin digital side, we started to work on distribution 10 years ago. 10 years ago is the moment where Steam started to be big and started to open the platform. Because I don't know if you know, but before it was really hard to put a game on Steam. And 8, 9 years ago, they started to open the platform to more publishers, to more developers, and then it allowed us to develop our distribution business. Because we can do, it's really hard to make distribution business if you don't have Steam keys. Sorry. I think it's very important to follow your instinct. It's your company, it's your wishes, so you have to do what you think is good to do. Compromise are good, but not too often, I think. And of course, implementation of tools is a key point, because if you are starting to hire too many people, it's really hard at the end. So, in resume, if I can give you some advice about this, I think you have to start to follow your ideas. You have to check with your client. For instance, if you pitch a game to publisher, you have to listen what they say, because all developers think their game is the best of the world. It's normal. But it's important to learn and to see, okay, this is interesting, okay, I have to change maybe some stuff, and then get back to the publisher. And of course, you have to be able to adapt your model. For instance, if you want to go on premium and you want to, and a publisher tell you, okay, make advertising or free to play, you have to be able to listen what they say. It's true for plugin, and the part of success of the company is as well the fact of, financially speaking, we receive money before to pay our content owner. So thanks to that, we always had money to growth and to develop our company. A quarter of company close because they have a lack of cash. So we have a 5% situation, cash is key, but I really think it's true. It's very important to have a bit of cash to move on, because it's a very important source of stress, of course. In resume, 10 years of company is a long sprint. We move 5 times. We sign 600 partnerships with stores or publisher or studio. We hire more than 40 people. We had to manage around 55% of growth every year. And the result of everything is we were able to raise 75 million end of last year to continue to accelerate, to invest in studio, to invest in product, and as well to make some acquisition, because our plan is to buy some studio. Right now we do only marketing and distribution, and part of our strategy in the future is to buy some studio to have our own production. Now I would like to talk about publishing. First, I guess you know, but it's good to recall what we need when you want to talk to a publisher. you need to have a pitch deck, not too long. A pitch deck, a good pitch deck would be 12 to 15 slides maximum. You need to be precise in your presentation and to say, okay, I want to find a publisher. I need this money, this amount of money. I need this time to make the game. Sometimes I will receive pitch and say, okay, how much money you can give us? No, a project is a cost and is a time. So after, it's of course always possible to discuss, and we are here to challenge. Sometimes, but when I'm talking about challenging, sometimes we put more money than what a developer asked, because our estimation is not the same, and sometimes we can put less money. So it's part of publisher role to help on this, but we need to understand what the studio needs, how many times they need to develop the game, etc. And then, of course, you can submit your game on website. All publishers have a website to submit your game. Or the best, of course, is to meet a publisher during trade show events. It's of course always better to make a face-to-face pitch. Sorry. About a publisher is not a bank, even if we do this job a bit. For me, the role of a publisher, of course, is to bring money on the table. But the crucial point is production, follow-up. I think the main role of a publisher is to help developer during production process, on production side, on QA, on playtesting, etc. For instance, in our process, we do playtest at different phases, alpha, beta, and final version. We ask to journalists to test the game and to play the game in US, in China, and in Europe, to have different feedback, professional feedback, to see how the game is fun, what is good, what is not good, etc. And the idea is not to say to the developer, okay, you have to do this. The idea is just to say, okay, we can do better in changing this. And we think sometimes it's hard to understand for a developer, but I think it's a key point to have a good game. Because when you develop your game, you are so focused on the game, it's really good to have external point of view. So, for a publisher, we are here to help you to schedule your development. For example, before to sign a deal, developer have a call with our lead producer to help him to help them to put in place a production schedule, milestone, etc., etc. Again, all must be comfortable with that. We are here to help. So as I said, we have internal skills, we have external partners. And we are here to help on all stuff like producing, QA, localization, etc., etc. And what is very important, we are here to test the game. At each milestone, we are testing the game. We give feedback to the developer to try to have the best game, the best possible game. And we do as well playtest. We have sometimes 10, 20 people playtesting the game to have a more amateur feedback. After production, what we do is more on marketing side, product management. So we have a dedicated product manager for each game on Dear Villagers. He is in charge of marketing plan, developer relationship, and he is here to coordinate everything. We do PR, of course. We do influencer relationship to promote it. Game. We do events. Events, it's more complicated right now with COVID, etc. But we are still doing events, digital events, or sometimes physical events when it's possible. And the most important, we do community development because it's a key point. So we have a few people internally very focused on community development. We are using a lot Twitter for for that. We do some stuff on Facebook as well, but Discord and Twitter are our key tools to develop community. We have dedicated people to sourcing. We have 2 people dedicated to that. The first one is William and the second one is Matthew. Their role is to talk with you, to test the game, to play, to discuss with you, to check if the game could work. It's important to say we play to all the games we receive. We receive a lot of games, but we take the time to play to all games we receive. When it's possible to play, because sometimes. But I think it's very important, and it's part of respect to the developer. Of course, sometimes we can refuse game because we don't have time. We don't have the interest in the game. It's not in our editorial line. Sometimes timing is not good, but we are trying to be smart and to keep an eye on all studio. Maybe it's not good for this game. Maybe it will be good for the next one. So what I said yesterday, we have to refuse a lot of games. So it means we sign less than 1% of games proposal we receive. So it's hard. It's hard, but we have no choice. We are trying to play to all games, as I said, but we can't release on publishing side 1 game a week. So we have to make choice, and we have to find the best games for us. And yes, we receive a lot of games every week, and when we do trade events, we see a lot of projects. What is a pitch deck? So it's very important to have a solid pitch deck, to be clear about your game, and to be precise. So, as I said, 10, 12, 15 maximum slides is enough. We need a synopsis. We need information about the team, because when we sign a deal, we sign for the game and we sign for the team. A fit with the team is a key point for us, because a publishing deal is 8 to 10 years, so it's long. It's more than a wedding, because you can't give us. So you have no plan B. So for us, it's very important to understand who are the developers, the main developer of the studio, and if they have a background, what they did before, etc. As I said, a budget with all details you may have. If you are not very good to make a budget, it's not a problem. Just put your number and we can help on this. But more we have, better it is. Key point, gameplay loop, USPs, because lots of competition in video games business, so we need to understand what are game USPs.
What is USP?
It's a
unique sales point.
Ah,
unique selling point.
nice.
It means what is different in your games compared to other games on the market.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Because if you make a game, it's a copy paste of Call of Duty, but with a different budget, you can do anything on the market. If you make a FPS with some good USPs, then you have a lot on the market. Inspiration, because of course it makes sense to be inspired by some titles, so it's good to understand what is your inspiration. And if it's possible, it's a big plus, a prototype, a vertical slice, something playable, because it's video game, so anything we can play is great. If you don't have it, at least a video could work, of course. So, some advices. Because we receive a lot of presentation, please take care of presentation. A clean one, quite beautiful, because video games is an art, so we like to see nice presentation. So please spend time on this. Be short, as I said, 10, 12, 15 slides maximum. Not big PDF, because sometimes we receive 4, 5, 6 gigabyte PDF.
Wow!
Yeah.
What does it
Yeah, because they put video or art inside, and you know, sometimes it's too big, so I don't see the point, but sometimes it happens. And yes, picture of the team, the game, screenshot, artwork, everything you can share is a plus. So even if you have a lot of nice screenshot, and you say, okay, but at this count I will have 20 slides, it's not a problem, because if you have only 10 slides of text and 10 slides of screenshot, it's okay, of course. And William, our sourcing manager, always says that be yourself. Fit is a key point, so don't play, just be yourself, define your project, and we will see what happens. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Do you have any question on publishing side or on distribution side?
Yes.
Aside from
First.
to you.
Hay un micrófono libre.
Ah, sí, está detrás, perdón.
Allora,
Hello. I have a question about what kind of, when you are selecting the game, what is important to you? The art style, the theme, or is it a tower defense or strategy game or space game or chance games or the age of the audience? What do you try
Alors,
to?
the genre is important because we don't do some games. We don't do racing games. We don't do sport. We don't do MMORPG. So exactly. If you pitch a racing game, we will say no because it's not part of what we do. Because we think we are not good on marketing on this kind of game. But after that, we are looking for everything. The team, of course, and the fit with the team. Even if it's a student, okay, it's not a problem. We signed recently some student game, so we don't necessarily need experience. We need just to trust in the team. But what key points are more game design. That's why we need a prototype and graphics style. For me, graphics is part of USP because when you put a game on a store, PlayStation Store, Steam, etc., what people see.
The box.
So it's if you want to make good marketing, you need to have good assets for this. That's why, for instance, we spend a lot of money in assets before game release. It helps a lot to sell and to convert.
Yes. I have two questions. The first one is, what do you consider as a success in a game that you make a deal? So if you sign a contract with a game developer, you have a number in mind, or it depends on the kind of the game that you can consider a success? And the second one is, for the ones that you really publish in a given year, like you said that you publish 5 to 10 games in a year, how many of them get the success in the market if you have this number, of course?
Good question. So, in general, a publisher is looking to make 3 times the investment. If we invest 1 million in the game, we hope to get 3 million revenue. It's a good number. Below, it's okay. More than that, it's very good. Okay, so 3-4 times, it's quite common in the business for a publisher. Of course, for a publisher, sometimes we will see some games and we know we won't do 3 times, 4 times, but we want this game in our portfolio because the game is very unique, maybe too niche to make a lot of money, but very unique, so good for the brand, for Dear Villagers brand, etc. So it could happen. So it's not only a matter of money, it could be a matter of marketing, brand communication, etc. And of of course, we may have good surprise. So, the second question was about.
If you have the numbers for the
Yeah.
ones that you release it, how many of them really get the
Alors, it
success?
depends on Dear Villagers. On Dear Villagers, we publish 5-6 titles a year, and we have three are good. When I'm saying good, it means we recoup our investment within 3 months after release. For me, too. We have 1 average and 2 more difficult. So it means around 50% of games we sign are not working very, very well. It's the case for all publishers. For instance, if you take Devolver, very famous, they are very good in communication and marketing because you have the feeling all games are a success, but not at all. If you check all games they release, you will see they have huge success, but as well a lot of games are not working. Unfortunately it's part of the game. And on PID games it's different because we invest less money, so we have 75% of games working correctly because we take less risk. On PID games, investment is not the same. So, of course, when we have to recoup 100K or 1 million, it is not the same. So, it depends on game scope.
I'm gonna ask a question myself. You talked a lot about culture fit between you and the developers, and that the developers are as important as the game in a sense. And without getting maybe too political or too moral or whatever, but what are your values? What could you say in a few words that you're looking for in a developer?
For us, it's a partnership. A developer is not a client, or it's a partner. So our main value is like this. We are looking for a partner because our goal is to sign the first game with the developer, and if we can, sign the second one with the developer. For instance, sometimes we have made the first game with the developer, it was good, even if the game was not a good success, we signed the second one without prototype. Because we are partners, we trust them, so we signed the second game quite automatically. So for me, it's part of our main value. It's business, of course, but it's not only business. It's partnership, it's trust, it's matter of trust. Because indie video games business is really, really hard, and all must be at 120 or 150%. And to ask the developer to be at 150%, they need to be really confident in publisher. And us, we need to be confident in developer.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else have a question?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, again. Can you talk about the whole process from when someone sends you an email with the pitch, and like the experience of the success game, like from when I send or the developer send the email, and what happened then, the meetings with the people I'm going to or the developers going to know about. All that process.
Sure, it's a good question. Alors, when we receive an email, you have to fill some form on the website, of course, and to add your pitch deck, etc. We have William in our team, he is getting it, he played to it, so it means we need 3 to 6 weeks for this, because we receive a lot of.
Yes.
So don't be surprised to not have a response after 3 days. It's not possible. It's really not possible. So we need, let's say, 1 month to play to the game, to check if the game could be nice or for us, could work, etc. If we think it could work, then we have a Trello. You know Trello? We have a Trello. We put the game in a Trello, and then we have an editorial committee playing to the game as well. So we have 7 to 8 people in the company, to the marketing team, to sales team, to accounting team. Anyone can play to the game, to test it and to put the comments, to have more feedback than only sourcing manager feedback. And if global feedback are quite good, then we are starting to talk with the developer. So that's why most of the time you have a long silence after email sending, because we take the time to play to it and to ask to more people to play. It's not one guy decision, it's 10 people decision. To say, okay, it's interesting to talk with them. And after, depend on the talk, depend on the fit, etc., and information we get, then we can discuss about the contract, etc.
Nice.
But we really have two phases.
Nice.
I have a question. Actually, you mentioned that, well, of course, you receive lots of games per week, but you also mentioned that you are always doing, as a company, some scouting. So how is this scouting organized? Do you organize it by markets? Like, do you have a team from scouting in Europe, one from China, or where are the markets you are trying to? And also, if you have a scouting team from Latin America, and how is that code?
Yeah, no, we do specific scouting for China, because China is China. But for the rest, all people are based in France. But we do a lot of events. So I think it's important to have the same people doing scouting, because you need to have a global view of all games. So I don't think it's very good to have people by regions or anything, because we don't care to sign an Argentine-based studio or Mexican-based or French-based. It's not a problem for us. So this is the same team moving to events all over the year, in Canada, in US, in South America, in Europe, etc.
I have one question. What do the developers need legally? Like, do I need to have a company or something like that? Or what kind of contract is like?
Alors, you will need to have a company to invoice us. Because in France, legally speaking, I can't pay you if you are just a guy. Okay, you need to be a company. But you can be a sole entrepreneur or something. It's not a problem. But during all negotiation phase, contract phase, we don't need a company. But to pay you, yes, you will need. But I don't think it will be a problem, because.
But for example. And you as a publisher give the service of economic like advice, because maybe create a company here in Argentina is not good for me, because the exchange of the money and the very subtle things. And do you have like professionals who give advice to the developers in that matter of things?
Yeah, we have some contact if you want to create a company in US, for instance, Delaware, or I don't know where. So yeah, of course we can give advice. It's your choice. But if you need help on this, definitely we can give you some contact. And indeed, sometimes it happens. We send with a developer and they create a company in another country. It's of course possible. For instance, we signed a few months ago a Cuban studio, so based at Havana. So, and company is registered in US. Because of course, in Cuba it's not easy. So yeah, not a problem.
No, thanks. No.
Thank you very much.